Ross, how did you not get something out of that game?
You've pretty much just said what I just said to the players in now. That's a tough one to take, that. Ultimately, look, let's be straight up and say that disappointing to concede a goal from a set piece so late in the game, because I haven't seen it back, of course. It's a quick turnaround from me speaking to the players to come out here. So that's the disappointing bit. Let's get that bit out of the way. But before the game and in the last few days, I've asked the players to, I won't use the terminology, but I've asked them to show some big what's-its, to go out into an arena like this today and back themselves with the ball, to be positive in the way that we try to play the game and create opportunities and chances. And I'm extremely proud of them to have gone and done that in the manner that they did today in front of a crowd like this. We set out with a game plan in the early stages to close the place down a little bit, and I felt we did that. I thought we got to 60-70 minutes and I really felt like we might be the ones to go and get it, and I think we probably certainly deserved a point, didn't we? But when you look at the I haven't seen the stats for definite, but when you look at the open chances that were created in the game, I think we created the better ones.
Yeah, a tremendous hour in the game and carved out at least 5 or 6 really good chances. But it has been the problem of late, converting those chances.
Of course, yeah, and there's moments in there, like I say I'm disappointed for the goal going in, of course. I'm extremely disappointed that we haven't converted the opportunities that we had, because it wasn't like I spoke in the week and said that I wanted us to refine what we were about in the final third and create, finish off the opportunities that might come our way, and we did that today. We got into some real glaring positions in front of goal and should do better. So yeah, it's a disappointing goal to concede, and obviously really difficult to analyse it right now, because we should have. I felt that we should have at least got 2 goals out of that today.
We'll get to that, but there were so many for that hour, so many really good individual performances, bravery from players. And I don't mean about putting your head in and tackles and all that sort of thing. I mean bravery on the ball. I mean, they played as if they were for long periods like the home side, silencing the home crowd.
And that was like I said, what I've spoken to them about being brave, about being positive in the manner that we have the possession of the ball, to show those big balls, if you like, to go and do that at times when you're under a little bit of pressure. And I thought there were some outstanding moves, like you said, there's some really good individual performances. I don't think there's many that you could pick out to say that didn't do particularly well today. So ultimately, whoever's listening to me now is going to have exactly the same opinion and attitude to this as what the players have just had, and I've said there's nothing that I can say that's going to pick anybody up. However, if we're going to analyse performance and we're going to look towards the future, which was what I first said to the players when I walked and took over for this interim period, is that let's look towards the future and start to build something in the direction that we're going to go, and hopefully if that's a sign of things to come, I think the future looks bright.
That hour is as good as I've seen him play all season. Good, and that's nice to hear, because let's give the players a little bit of credibility in terms of it's been a topsy-turvy period for them. They've lost their manager that they were doing fairly well with. A new manager's come into the building. It's been circumstances that are fairly unusual, and they've embraced coming here today against a good team that are going in the right direction. And in my personal opinion, I thought we were the better team. We should talk about things that were not so good, because you haven't got the reward, you haven't got in front. Bradford City are coming into the game, and the warnings were there. Platt hit the woodwork, and then for what is the decisive goal, the ball's in the air a long time, in and around the 6-yard box, floated in for Andy Cook to get on the end of it.
Absolutely, and he's the informed striker in the league, if not the best striker in the league at the moment in this season, and obviously the year's gone by. So we've spoken numerous times this week about the threats that Bradford bring and the amount of times they put the ball in the box. So it's incredibly disappointing. So please don't anybody think that I'm smothering over anything that's disappointing. That's certainly something that we recognise. But like I said, I'm not going to walk out of here sort of putting people down. I'm going to try to move things in the right direction and look for the positivity. So absolutely devastated right now in terms of the fact that we've come out of this game with nothing, and there's obviously things to work on, of course.
It was the biggest ever League 2 crowd, biggest ever crowd in the what is the equivalent of the 4 divisions, and yet there'll be 345 Colchester United fans on the way home, genuinely mystified that their side haven't got the draw, won the game.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to be honest, I couldn't care less how many Bradford fans are here today, and I'm not one people who's ever listened to me talk before would never have said that, pat the fans on the back just for the sake of it. There's a lot of people that I listen to that do that just to try and appease and sound right to our supporters. But the backing that they gave the boys while we were warming up, actually, because the people that were coming into the ground, there was a real good noise and real good feel about it. And what I was most proud of, again, from the team's perspective and the relationship with the fans today, is people that stayed behind, albeit after 2 late goals, disappointing long journey home, to clap the boys. So I think that shows that little bit of togetherness. So look, let's build on that. We'll carry that disappointment away with us. I thank everybody for that travelling support that we've had today. We'll let Bradford go and pat themselves on the back for the amount of people that we've had here today, but all I care about is the Colchester United players and staff and fans that have joined us. And just on that, from that perspective, I'd just like to thank everybody for the personal support that I've been given over the last 10 days. I mean, supporters, I don't have a huge relationship with our fans because I haven't been here long enough to do so, but it's been really nice to receive some of the support that I have done, and of course from the board and the people within the club, staff, Dave and Elliot and the people around the first team. But ultimately it's about the players and us trying to win more games. So I just want to thank anybody that's listening for everything they've done over the last 10 days.